Guys, Andrea Caprio here. I hope you're well. I just have to put my aircon off because it's making a lot of noise right while I'm here. Welcome to my little Facebook Live of the week. I hope you're all well and you're doing well. I am. It's super hot here. I think in centigrade, so it's 37, 38 centigrade. I have the aircon on and I'm not moving outside. I hope you're well and you're doing well. So how are you? How's everybody? And where are you calling in from? So type that in the chat and let me know. And by the way, welcome also to those watching the replay, and feel free to type it here in as well. So today my Facebook Live is all about period cravings. So interesting theme actually, but I got asked by a couple of clients, and a lot of my clients have issues with period cravings. And I remembered that I had a lot of issues too, because I'm menopausal. That shows my age now. So to say that, or maybe to share a little bit, while I still had my period, right, I had a lot of issues around it. I had cravings, definitely. And I also had a lot of hormonal issues, like ups and downs of my hormones. I felt moody. I had a lot of issues with my bleeding, very painful as well. I had fibroids that had to be removed several times. And I've been told by doctors to do hysterectomy, and I always refused that. And just word of warning, I'm not saying you should as well, right? That was my own decision. I always have to be careful with these things. But, it is that a lot of women I have as my clients, and myself as well, we have a lot of issues around our periods, cravings, and some health issues around that, pain or whatever it is, right? And if you are a woman, or maybe a woman who has the same issues or so, you are right on, because I want to speak about that today, because I see that such a big problem around. And basically, to put it a little bit together, we all know we have hormones, right? And the issue is with the hormones that, hormones change, right? Hormones change during our lifetime, from puberty over, getting pregnant, and all these kind of things, of course. And of course, then going into perimenopause, menopause, and so on. So that's first of all it. But also, while we have a period, right, the hormones change during the cycle, right? We have estrogen, progesterone, a couple of others, and so on. So I don't want to go too much into details now, but they change through the cycle, right? And the important part is to keep them as balanced as possible, so we have the least symptoms, such as period cravings or some other PMS, or whatever the symptoms are, or things like PCOS, right? Or like in my case, fibroids or other hormone-related issues. Hormones are hugely affected by the way of eating, right? So depending on what we eat, depending on our lifestyle as well, our hormones can be influenced in a good way or in a bad way, right? Depends, of course. The issue is that most people are influencing the hormones in a bad way, right? And I'm going to get into this just now, why that is and how that is. And then I will share with you, of course, some ways of improving that, because in the end, that's what I'm here to help you to improve your health issues, right? Whatever they are. And by the way, all this is also in relationship, of course, with your weight, right? If that's an issue, because when we have too many hormone and period or hormone related period cravings, our weight struggles with that as well, because usually then we eat, unless you are super strong and you're not giving in to your cravings, which I'm going to help you with as well. But of course that can affect your weight. And this is, by the way, a vicious circle, because when we have hormone cravings, hormone related cravings during our period, and we eat, they make those cravings and the other symptoms even worse, right? So obviously it's important to interrupt this vicious cycle. Now, things we eat can spike up, for example, estrogen, right? Or just get our hormones to be imbalanced, right? So estrogen is a biggie, is responsible for a lot of things there. And that is really something that, for example, foods such as a lot of fried food, a lot of processed food, foods or meals rather, or a diet high in carbohydrates, soy, foods that we might be intolerant to, and we create inflammation as as a result of it. Some people are intolerant to gluten, dairy, foods that are highly processed and kind of factory farmed animal foods or so, that are having a lot of antibiotics in it, like, factory raised meat, for example, things like that. All these things will have an effect on our hormones. And the better your diet, the cleaner your diet, the better you eat, the least it will affect your hormones, right? And speaking about period cravings, our theme today is, of course, that's important as well. So we definitely want to have a very, very clean diet, right? So we want to have healthy, wholesome food, right? We don't want to have processed food in. We want to include a lot of fiber, healthy protein. We want to make sure we have some healthy fats, but not too many. And we want to keep our carbs to a lower level, right? And have those rather whole grain options, not refined carbs and so on. So these are kind of the general rules. At the other end, we want, of course, also to look at our stress, right? Stress, for example, if we are very stressed, it affects our adrenals, and the adrenals is part of our hormonal system. The cortisol being a hormone, and the cortisol can affect other hormones. The hormones are, you can imagine, like little like chains, right, or parts of a chain. And if one chain member of the chain is not working properly, it affects all the others. So if cortisol is not working well, it can affect the estrogen levels, for example, or the thyroid levels, or. And of course, all this then can affect the hunger and the satiety hormones. The hunger hormone is called ghrelin, and the satiety hormone is leptin. And these guys are basically responsible for your hunger and satiety, right? I mean, that's what it says basically, or what I said just. So that is, of course, a big thing that, when those guys are not working and influenced by the other hormones, that's actually what spikes up your cravings during your period, right? And stress, for example, can aggravate that. Like I said earlier, the food, stress, and also your sleep, right? Sleep hormone is called melatonin. So if you're not sleeping enough, that also has a negative effect on all these hormones, right? And then, of course, exercise, our general lifestyle, exposing yourself to toxins, maybe. Vitamin D is, by the way, a hormone. So this is also very important. So you see, all this plays a role, right? So you definitely want to make sure you're really looking after your hormones, and doing so with healthy food and healthy lifestyle. And by the way, if you're interested to find out more about that, I have written a blog post, which the link, I have no idea where to share this right now. Give me a moment. Let's see. I hope I can do this, because I'm trying out something new here, and I'm even not sure if that works here. I will have to share that a little bit later. I guess I will do so when I see that. So just bear with me. In case, please do ask me for it, and then I can send it to you after. And then also the other thing that's super important there is, of course, to make sure that you eat healthy foods, right? And as I mentioned, there are a couple of snacks, because a lot of people, when they get the period cravings, they get into the snacking and make things actually worse than they are already. So we want slowly to unravel. And as I said, I have the blog I want to share. And of course, if you want some help as well, feel free to contact me, and I'm very happy to help you, because sometimes it does need also a little bit to go deeper and look at the root causes and find out why do you have all these issues, right, in the first place. So what I want to share is, as a first one, is one of my favorite ways of improving my cravings and balancing my hormones is with a smoothie. And I have a smoothie every morning. Now, as I said, I am now in menopause, and actually the smoothie helps me also to balance my menopausal symptoms, which I had almost none. and I do know most of my friends have a lot. So it's same thing. It's actually the same concept. You want to balance your hormones, right? So a smoothie is my way, definitely, of balancing my hormone. And I've had a smoothie before when I still had my period, and it really helps because you get all the fiber, you get healthy protein, healthy fats, and all that helps with your hormone balancing. So in my blog post, I share also my my really great smoothie builder. I've put that together, a way of mixing smoothies like endless, right? So basically it's a builder, right? So it helps you to build really healthy smoothies, super easy, depending on what you have in your fridge, or so you can do your own smoothies. So smoothie would be my number one preferred way of supporting your health in general, and of course your cycle, your hormones, right, and your period cravings. And a smoothie is also really a great idea. For example, if you want, I use it mostly for a breakfast, as my breakfast during the week, but you can also have a smoothie for lunch or for a snack, right? So instead of having an unhealthy snack, you can have a smoothie, or you can have the smoothie as a smoothie bowl. So basically you have a smoothie without so much, without all the liquid, or with less liquid, and you have it kind of this consistency of a yogurt or so, and then you can kind of eat it as a snack. Really great. And you could even freeze it if you want in summer. That gives me an idea. I think I should try this. It's so hot here. I need some healthy snacks there, and that's a good ice cream replacement, right? Activated nuts is one of the other really great options that I would recommend. Now, nuts is really something, I love nuts, and I'm lucky I do tolerate them quite well, but a lot of people actually struggle with nuts. When they eat too many, they feel bloated, or it's kind of hard on the digestive system, because nuts are a little bit more difficult to digest because of what's in them, the fat and so on, and a lot of people they struggle just to break it down. Because their system doesn't work so well. That, by the way, often has to do something with too low stomach acid. And if you're interested to hear more about it, do let me know. I would love to help you on that, because a lot of people do struggle with this. So, how to do activated nuts, you might want to know, right? And it's quite easy. And by the way, that's also something you want to do with beans. Basically, you soak nuts for ideally overnight, for a couple, 6 to 8 hours. So overnight is a good way, but already if you can soak them for 4 hours, it's good. And then you put them either in a dehydrator if you have so, or in an oven, and very low temperature until they get dry again, right? You have to, depending on the size, you have to read it up. And I'm sharing also in my blog post actually more information about that, how to do activated nuts. So you definitely want to check out my blog post. And if you're live here and you can't see the link in the comments, please do ask me and just type blog post or something like that, or I want to get the link to the blog post and I'll send it to you. Right, so that's one way, and as I said, you can do that with with beans as well, but obviously you don't dry them, right? You cook them then, and that's also a healthy way of cooking beans, especially when you struggle with them. And then last but not least, a really great snack is to have kale chips, baked kale chips. And that is really a great thing. I always was a little bit like, I don't like kale so much, but when you do kale chips, actually they taste really nice because they're crispy. I actually want some. So basically, you wash, you dry them, and then you sprinkle a bit of olive oil on it, extra virgin olive oil, and a little bit of salt. You might want to add maybe some other spices, either herbs or spices if you want that. And then basically you lay them out in the oven and you dry them at very low temperature until they are dry. Again, I have in my in my blog post, I have all the details. Right, so these are some ideas to get you started on healthy snacks. But as I mentioned, you really want to look a little bit deeper in your overall nutrition and lifestyle if you struggle with period cravings or maybe some other hormone-related symptoms or so, like PMS or fibroids or whatever it is. And I'm very happy to jump on a call with you and help you, with these things, how you can tackle it. I hope this was helpful for today. My name is Andrea Caprio, and I'm going to be with you next week on Wednesday around the same time. So always do tune in or watch the replay. And any questions, just type them in the comments, and please look out for my comment to help you to find the link to the blog post. And also, if you are not yet in my group, you can join my group as well. This is also posting to my group, by the way, but in case, you can also join the group or send the link to other people. It's also here in the comments. Great. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.